Eagles are some of the deadliest birds on the planet, especially when they're hungry. There are more than 60 different species of eagle, with the American bald and African crowned among the biggest. Have you ever seen an eagle attack another animal? It's fascinating, whether it's simply attacking another eagle who isn't expecting it, or them chasing after some food like a wolf, a fox, or even your pet cat. Sit back and brace yourself, as today we're showing you the 10 deadliest eagle attacks in the world. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to The Supreme, and click the notification bell for more lit content. Let's get rolling. Wolf. As we all know, eagles are predatory animals. They hunt out their prey and they eat as much meat as they possibly can. They soar through the air, high overhead, looking for their next victim. And when they have their sights set on something and move to attack, well, they rarely miss. Like, check out our first clip of the day that shows a massive eagle with his eyes set on a wolf. As the big bird swoops down for its initial attack, the two creatures roll up into a wrestling match, with the eagle sinking its talons into the wolf's torso. For a moment, looking like it's going to win this intense battle. The two heavyweights roll over a few more times, with the eagle seemingly having the upper hand. But then, in an instant, the exhausted wolf manages to retrieve its footing and ultimately can escape with his life. In this incredible picture that our editors found online, you can see another massive bird, either an eagle or a giant vulture, preparing to peck at this adult wolf. It looks like the big bad wolf got a little too close to that baby bird, and its mama had to go on full attack. Eagle. While most of what you'll see today includes eagles attacking other animals, like plenty other carnivores out there, sometimes eagles will even attack their own, whether out of anger or just sheer playfulness. In a video posted by Sassy Photo on YouTube back during the summer of 2019, a few bald eagles have gathered near a food source out in the water. What happens while they're eating is both astonishing and a bit scary. A juvenile bald eagle, one that likely isn't much older than a year, decides to play a prank on one of the older members in the group. While the adult bird is chowing down, the young fella, or lady, attacks the older member by planting a double kick square in the bird's chest. The older eagle falls backwards into the water, with its food flailing out of its mouth on the way. Pretty intense, right? Apparently, the larger eagle was okay, though I wouldn't be surprised if this young fella got a quick whooping for its antics. Also, eagles are known to attack other eagles when looking to take over their nest, which is pretty crazy as well. Swimming deer. Whether you're a human being or a baby deer, there aren't too many things more peaceful than a nice early morning swim. In video that was posted by National Geographic back in August of 2017, you can see just that, a fawn swimming through the water and minding its own business. That is, until in just an instant, a giant bald eagle, a bird that could have a wingspan up to 7 feet across, swoops in to attack. Now, surely this bird isn't going to be able to lift a soaking wet deer up into the air, is it? In this case, well, no. But the eagle does manage to drag the fawn around beneath the water, effectively drowning the mammal. And for the next few days, this bald eagle had its breakfast, lunch, and dinner simply waiting on it right here. Trump. If you live in the United States, and perhaps even if you don't, then you know that the bald eagle is the national bird of America. And before the country was settled onto by the folks over from Europe, the bald eagle was also very important to many Native American cultures as well. With all that said, it's only right that the bald eagle gave us quite a hysterical moment with our President Donald Trump. even though the funny video was captured prior to Trump officially being elected. The clip was recorded back in 2015, when the then presidential candidate was doing a photo shoot for Time magazine. The idea was for Trump to pose with the presidential bird, but the 27-year-old eagle, aptly named Uncle Sam, simply wasn't in the mood. For starters, it doesn't appear that Trump was ever fully comfortable with the idea. You can almost see the nerves written across his face. Then, when the two are both sitting at the desk, Trump reaches for something that was sitting near the eagle's tail, and that's when he almost pulled back a nub, as the bird quickly bites at the soon-to-be president. Now, some say that this bird got bad vibes from Mr. Trump, and perhaps was even trying to warn the rest of us Americans and maybe even the free world. But you didn't hear that from me. Dog. While most of the contestants on today's countdown have been bald eagles, up next we've got the crowned eagle, who was being filmed in a garden just earlier this year. The crowned eagle, also known as the African crowned eagle or crowned hawk eagle, is another large bird of prey that's typically found in southern Africa. Now, these birds are massive, one of the biggest and most powerful eagles on planet Earth, and all that muscle means that they need to constantly feast on meat in order to survive. And no, they aren't very picky eaters. This clip shows a homeowner taking some video in their backyard when they look to the skies and notice the huge bird. The camera stays fixated on the crowned eagle, and then something scary happens. The bird swoops down to the ground in an effort to capture and feast on the family dog. Check it out. Whoa, now that was a close call. Two quick things about this video. One, I'd love to see what the house looks like if that's just the garden. And two, who else out there has eagles just chilling in their backyard? We'd definitely love to see more videos like that, so if you've got a link, go ahead and drop it down there in the comments. Baby warthog. As apex predators, there aren't too many natural enemies of the eagle, no matter what species it is or where in the world it resides. Still, the mighty birds can only lift so much into the air with them, so when they're looking for food, it isn't uncommon for them to target baby animals, because they're typically slower, easier to catch, and much simpler to lift off the ground. That's exactly what happened with our next clip that was originally posted to YouTube by SDA Wild Animal Channel back in March of 2019. A family of warthogs can be seen waddling around one afternoon when the mother can clearly sense that something is up. While she tries to scoot her tots out of harm's way, she mostly accomplishes her goal. And I use the word mostly for a reason. Unfortunately for this mama, one of the baby warthogs wasn't quick enough and ends up being captured by the massive bird. Sad, but also the circle of life, right? Fox and hare. Speaking of the circle of life, as a dad, sometimes I find it a bit difficult to explain to my young children that life is a lot of things. It's funny, it's exciting, it's new, but also at times it's ugly and gruesome and unexplainable. I think that the thought of the quote circle of life encapsulates that perfectly, and in turn, this video is exactly that. Check it out. The clip opens up with a small fox who had recently captured its own meal, an unfortunate rabbit that was sitting safely in the fox's mouth. But just as the fox thought he was in the clear, he senses that something is wrong, and as fast as it takes him to look around, a massive bald eagle swoops in and captures the fox that had just captured the rabbit. Just a few seconds later, the fox manages to wriggle free, so it looks like, in this case, at least as far as we could tell, everybody ends up okay. Well, everyone except for that big hungry bird, I guess. Snake. We'll move on. Last summer, July 2019, more incredible footage of an eagle attack was uploaded to YouTube, this time by Kruger sightings. Another fairly large species of eagle is the brown snake eagle. These birds tend to occupy West, East, and Southern Africa and typically enjoy feasting on, you guessed it, snakes. Check out this high-definition video of a brown snake eagle feasting on an unfortunate puff adder. As you can see, the bird is clearly in a dominating position here with its talon firmly on the reptile's back, while it continually pecks away with its beak. But the crazy thing here is that the snake, as caught as it is still trying to wriggle away. Talk about heart and a desire to live. That's right, even as its organs and guts are viciously removed, the snake still tries to get away. Humans. A little earlier in today's show, we showed you guys what it looked like when a bald eagle, who simply wasn't in the mood for a photo shoot, made a couple attacking motions on now American President Donald Trump. But the animal was clearly agitated, not necessarily hungry, and that clip has led many folks to question, will these birds attack human beings out in the wild? Well, the short answer to that is yes, and especially if it's hungry enough and the conditions are just right. There are several videos all over the internet of the huge birds swiping down on unsuspecting people, with most attacks ending with the bird being chased off. Any area that the bird considers its hunting ground could lead to a bird-on-person attack, and open fields, golf courses, and sometimes even open water can all lead to these interactions. So if you're ever in any of these areas, if you're alone, and those big birds are known to fly overhead, try to keep that third eye on the sky as best you can. Chamois attack fail. So although these big birds are pretty smart, they don't always end up getting what they wanted. Case in point in this final clip where a hungry eagle was recorded attacking a group of chamois, a goat antelope-like animal that has short hooked horns and that live in the mountain areas of parts of Europe. The eagle manages to land on the chamois' back with ease, but the animal is too big to be lifted. The chamois, which spends its days grazing and looking for water, isn't very equipped for this type of fight. So it does the only thing that it can think, rolls over and over and over down the hill while sprinting down the rocky face of the mountain as fast as it can. It eventually is able to wriggle free from the bird's tremendous talons, while the eagle sits there dumbfounded, probably trying to figure out what the heck just happened. Whoa. That was the 10 deadliest eagle attacks in the world. Which one of these vicious attacks frightened you the most? Was there anything that you saw that was, well, unexpected? Tell us all about it in the comments. You've been hanging out with the Supreme. We'll see you soon.